Interesting call with some new clients this morning. So very nice guys, very smart businessmen, and one had sold the other one the business, and there was an SBA loan involved, and there was seller financing a part of the transaction. And as part of that transaction, seller is supposed to be subordinate to the SBA loan, meaning they're not supposed to be able to take any payments until the SBA loan is paid off. Now, the SBA, loan rep also kind of told the clients on the side, like, we don't necessarily care what happens in reality. But these parties were very, forthright and earnest individuals, and they understand that they signed certain loan covenants that said, thou shalt not collect upon this loan document until the primary, loan has been paid off. And they wanted to talk to a lawyer, hence I walk into the room. And, it was on the telephone, so I didn't walk into the room. But at the end of the day, they want to talk to a lawyer about, are there any ways that we could make this relationship legal, pay down some of this debt, and not incur any problems? Well, my answer was most likely yes. And one of the gentlemen asked a very interesting question, how is it? And he was very, trying very hard not to offend me or to be adversarial with me. And I told him he didn't have to worry about hurting my ego. It's pretty well intact, so we weren't really worried about that. But at the end of the day, what his point was is, how can you, Mr. Lawyer, just use some fancy language and change this whole thing around so we're okay? And I said, well, that's kind of what we do. That's kind of what lawyers are taught to do. That's kind of why we go to law school, and not to be tricky, not to, walk any sort of line. But just because loan documents are set up very linear and say you can't do these three things, if we call it three other things, if we reclassify the arrangement, if we talk about, paying an individual as an independent contractor, as a consultant, and other ways to make sure that money is making its way to this individual, you have not violated those loan covenants. And let's be clear about that. Now, to the average person, I understand why that may seem like an end run. But as long as we've reviewed the language, as long as the primary loan is not in default, and we are finding a way to come up with a creative solution for the clients, everyone's the better. And let's be honest, those covenants are made to, are put in place to make sure the primary debt is getting paid. And as long as that primary debt is getting paid, who really cares, what this individual is doing, because he doesn't want to pay accelerated interest, over the years as inflation goes up. So creative lawyering is a thing, and finding creative solutions to the client's problems is what we do.